What's going on, folks? Sorry we missed you guys last week. We had a little bit of something to take care of last week, but we back at it. We are week 7 is around the corner. We got Tim, we got Josh. We got a great show for you guys today. I mean, don't mind me soaking in the corner over here because my Seahawks ain't doing so well. But you know what? Life goes on. LOB.
Yeah, I
Tim,
hear it.
Josh, take it away.
Josh, we had some pretty good games last week. I know we didn't do the show last week,
Good
but
to be back.
I'm pretty sure 90% of our NFL picks would have been the way we called
On
it.
point.
Aside from the Philadelphia and Giant game, I know you would have picked the Giants. I would have had the Philly.
Oh, yeah.
So it is what it is. But we're gonna move on. First down, Josh. The most impressive takeaway from last week's game, like what games did you see? Like, wow, I can't believe it.
There was a couple actually that stood out to me. The first I want to go off was the Steelers. I thought they were very impressive. I thought the Cardinals were going to come out and continue their hot, fierce defense, and Carson Palmer was going to do his thing on the offensive side. But, you know, let alone and behold, I mean, they did their thing on defense. The Steelers, they held them to 13 points. I mean, they're looking good, and they got Big Ben right back at practice. And if they can keep that ticking on the defensive side and Big Ben's back, that's going to be some dangerous play for the AFC. And then the other side, I'm looking at Cam, Big Cam, Big Cam going down to the Century Link down there, facing the 12th man, pulling it out too when his kicker is missing extra points down there. Are you kidding me? Oh, you got to go. No. Get out of here. That is terrible. That PAT miss, man, he was like, I don't know what the heck he was thinking. That was just awful. But Cam did his thing, man. Hit Greg Olsen on that vertical. It was just beautiful, man. Their Panthers are putting on right now, and I never had them pegged to even have 5 wins. I mean, let alone the season. I don't know. I had them probably like 6-10 to finish the season. So right now, killing it. What about you?
Well, you know what? I'm gonna definitely agree with you with the Seattle Seahawks, but I'm gonna start off first with the Philadelphia Eagles. Just because of the mistakes that Sam Bradford. I'm gonna steal that from Skip Bayless, not Sam Bradford, but Sam Bradford throwing those interceptions like they were punts. And the Philadelphia Eagles, the defense kept them in the game because their offense was so sloppy. I mean, it was disgusting. The way they held down Odell Beckham Jr. For the whole second half, that was incredible. I had to give Philadelphia Eagles love for that. And again, the Seattle Seahawks. I'm with you. Listen, there's only been 2 teams basically to go in Seattle and win in the last 3 years. That's my Dallas Cowboys, and that's the Carolina Panthers. So to go to Seattle and win with a hostile environment like that, you definitely get points, especially when Cam doesn't have weapons around him. But we'll get to that later.
Yes,
but the New York Jets, listen, I know it's the Washington Redskins, but they were going through a lot of mistakes, interceptions and fumbles, and they held their heads together. They came back in there, and they spanked the Redskins. The New York Jets is for real this year. Brandon Marshall and Ryan Fitzpatrick. Again, I took heat in the beginning of the season for Ryan Fitzpatrick. I told everybody the boy can play. This is the best team he's surrounded by, and out of all the teams he's been on, it's a difference. And he's smart enough to do what he needed to do, and he can play.
Yeah, and I'm glad you brought up the Jets because right now, I mean, there's a lot of people that give no love to this guy, Chris Ivory. I mean, this kid is a beast. I'm looking at his stat line right now. The past 2 games, 166, a touchdown, 146, a touchdown. During the season, he's averaging 5.5. He's already got 4 touchdowns on the year with 460 yards. This guy is a silent beast. I want to compare him kind of to like a mini Steven Jackson when Steven Jackson was in his prime with St. Louis. Especially fantasy-wise, little fantasy talk here, the guy is good for at least guaranteed 10 points a game. He's giving you 100 yards rushing a game, guaranteed. Right. And if you get the score, that's just a bonus with his receiving on the side. So He gets no love. He needs to get more credit. I mean, Steven Jackson used to be one of the top recognized backs in the league when he was doing his thing. So I think Ivory needs to be up there too, getting some love. And definitely the Jets are doing their thing with a third stringer, I guess you could consider him, with Fitzpatrick, and the whole receiving corps is stepping up. Brandon Marshall looks like Brandon Marshall again. It's really good out there in Jetland. So kudos to them as well. Yeah.
Oh, listen, I'm gonna give a love to one more team, even though they lost. But this is something that needs to be said. Jake Cutler and the Chicago Bears. Listen, I mean, everybody wanted Jake Cutler off, write him off.
Yeah.
And I mean, the whole NFL nation said Jake Cutler was garbage. Let's get rid of him. And basically, only one real important move happened, and that's getting rid of Brandon Marshall for, I believe, a 7th-round pick. And all of a sudden, this team is clicking. And on top of that, the team was playing so good without Alshon Jeffrey. This kid, Marcus Wilson, I mean, decent wide receiver, but they have Martellus Bennett, still have Matt Forte, and you get a new head coach and John Fox, and all of a sudden now this Bears is competitive. They go to Kansas City, they won that game. They took Detroit Lions to its limits. Now we got to be so impressed with. I mean, there's a question going on saying, okay, was Brandon Marshall the problem? I mean, you get rid of him, the team is clicking.
I don't know, though, because you give the money to the QB. The QB is supposed to be the corporal, man. He's supposed to be the captain at the helm. He's supposed to lead his troops. You know, even if it's the coach's job as well. I mean, I think the QB is just as responsible, and that's kind of what pisses me off with Eli. So going back to Sunday night, you want to talk about that debacle. You got Eric Flowers on the sideline as a rookie trying to amp up everybody on the sideline, and what's Eli doing? Playing with his hair kind of like John Travolta in Grease. I mean, come on, you look around and you see Drew Brees, and you look at Tom Brady's, and even Matt Stafford, as goofy as he can be, looking like a Goomba, but I mean, he's still out there, and he's vocal. And,
I got to cut you guys
Jay
quick.
Cutler, yeah, go ahead.
I mean, I'm not too sure who Victor's talking about. I'm assuming he's talking about Jay Cutler, but you say he's garbage.
Yeah.
Listen, I mean, listen.
Well, I just want to say, like, the Bears gave the money to Cutler, and they gave the money to Alshon Jeffrey to trust him as a one and build around him with Bennett and everything. And Forte is a great back, top 5 back. I mean, you can't disregard him. And Cutler's not getting it done. He doesn't see his reads. And if Chicago wants to sit Cutler, are there Chicago Bear fans ready for a rebuild? Because that's what they're going for. If you put Jimmy Clausen in and just sit Cutler and say, F the dead money, pretty much, I don't know what they want. But, yeah, the Bears they're dead this year.
But
I don't think they're coming back.
No, here's the thing. I'm not saying that Jay Cutler is.
I can't be impressed with that. That was my side.
Oh no! But the reason why I'm impressed is because the thing is when you get rid of Brandon Marshall for a 5th-round pick, God, that's pennies, okay? It's like, okay, so I guess they're trying to give it to everybody, but they didn't do that. They didn't try to trade Jay Cutler. They didn't try to trade Matt Forte. They kept the core right there, so that raises questions. And then all of a sudden now, the games that they've been playing this year, they've been into the end. It ain't like last year when you just played Chicago and wipe them off. And Cutler's not making the same mistakes as last year. So it does raise some type of questions like saying, okay, was Brandon Marshall, because it was in 2 months and Jay Cutler's ear the problem? Because look at Alshon Jeffrey last week. He was, missing 4 or 5 games, and you're balling. His first game back, you're balling. Marcus Wilson. Who's Marcus Wilson? Okay? And this is, you still got Matt Forte, you still got Jay Cutler, and you got a whole new different defense. You got a brand new head coach for 1 year. Those are the things that happen when a team is trying to start over and blow everything up. Instead, they play pretty good. Enough for the team to win at the end. That's what I'm saying.
I'm not trying to bash Cutler too much because he doesn't have a great defense or anything to really work with. But at the same time, look at his passing yards, and look at the points that their offense is putting up. You got 23 points, 0, 22, 18, and then of course they finally just broke 30 against Detroit. And Cutler's not even amassing 300 yards in a game at all. And it's not like his attempts are down. He's definitely out there slinging the ball. The passing yards are 25th. Their yards are 26th. Their rushing yards is the only thing that's ranked to top 15 at 14 with 112 a game. But that's more credit to Forte than anything else. I just can't be impressed with the Bears at 2-4, especially when they're supposed to be every year. Jay Cutler, he could be the MVP candidate this year. He's got a lot of potential. He could really turn it around this year. How long have they been saying that for? Since 2012, and we're still waiting on it. I mean, the Mayan calendar came and went before Jay Cutler did something, and we're still waiting on it.
Okay, now here's the second part of the first down. Can we see Cam Newton in the MVP talks? I say yes. I definitely say yes, because my whole thing was when Kelvin Benjamin went down, we thought it was over. And he's utilizing whatever he got, especially with Greg Olsen, that one tight end, and he is doing it. He is doing whatever he can. Whatever he can, get these little receivers over, whether it's Ted Ginn or Courtney Brown. They're running the ball with Jonathan Stewart. They're playing good defense, but I'm out. Last week was the test to see, okay, is Carolina going to fall? You're going into Seattle. It's not. You go into Seattle and you do what you did. Hands down, I got to give him the MVP.
I mean, look.
He's up there. Josh.
Let me stop it for a second.
Seahawks, man.
I'm just going to throw in a little bit right now. I mean, not to take anything away from Cam Newton or the Panthers, deserve that win. But you have to understand, the Seahawks don't have a running game nor a O-line. The Seahawks is not there this year because of the O-line. So we're going to get run over because we don't have an O-line. Look at all the games we lost. Close games. If we had a running game in those close games, you mean to tell me the Seahawks was going to lose those games?
Sean,
I don't think so.
It's always something, though.
Sean, see, I was trying to be nice, Sean, because, but here's the thing.
Let's save it for the next quarter, though. The next down.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, we're talking about Cam Newton. We're talking about Cam Newton.
All right. Okay. We'll be singing next time.
I mean, he arguably just had his worst game with the 2 picks and only 1 touchdown.
Yeah.
But he got the win. That's the most important thing. So it pretty much
clutch.
You don't even care about the 2 win totals. You care that he got the W away at one of the hardest places to play in the NFL.
Clutch.
And the boy right now is leading a perfect team with who's their main receiver? Devin Funchess. Who?
No. Ted Ginn.
Okay.
The 5'6" little man.
Argue Ted Ginn is, ahead of Funchess on the depth chart. If we really want to, we could put rock, paper, scissors for that. Yeah. But yeah, the boy is putting on right now, and I mean, his best receiver is Greg Olsen. It's just amazing what he's doing right now. He definitely deserves to be up there with the Brady and the Rodgers talk and the MVP. So, I mean, if he continues to do it, that's what's going to be the telling point. Is the second half of the season. That's the gruesome schedule coming up.
Yes, it is. Man, I tell you this. Again, to go to Seattle and win the game like he did at the last second, it was great. It was great clutch. And listen, he was definitely Superman that day. And I'm gonna tell you this: it's gonna be very hard. It's gonna be hard for teams to go in Carolina and beat them. It's gonna be very, very hard. That defense is playing lights out, led by Luke Kuechly. Luke Kuechly was stopping everything that was going his way.
And Luke Kuechly was about to see Sam Bradford.
Yeah, he was taming Beast Mode. He was taming him quite lovely.
Carolina, they got 3 home games coming up right in a row too. Carolina,
we don't have a running game. Of course, it's easy to tame Beast Mode. We don't have an O-line. You don't have a running game. Look at DeMarcus Murray. He was a god because he had a god O-line.
Hey, he finally put up numbers.
He had a god O-line for the Cowboys. You take him out of a good O-line, you paid him in a mediocre O-line, he's not doing nothing.
No, you're wrong there, Sean. Sean, you're wrong. Sean, you're wrong. You're wrong.
Oh, so you tell me that the Seahawks O-line is good?
No, I'm Sean.
The Seahawks O-line is good.
Sean, I'm gonna listen. I know a second.
That's my argument. Tell me, is the Seahawks?
That's the name of the game, though. When your O-line sucks on the floor,
I'm trying
to heat.
My O-line
like Eli did. When the Giants O-line was terrible, Eli caught the heat.
The only plays that work on the Seahawks are trick plays. because we don't have an O-line. You saw that catch by that Tyler Lockett? It was first it's snap to Russell. Russell hand the ball to Marshall Lynch. Russell dipped back behind Marshall Lynch. Marshall passed to Russ, back to Russ. Russ took the ball, Tyler Lockett in the end zone, passed to Tyler Lockett, a touchdown.
Well,
what other team resulted to college ball trick plays? Because you have no O-line.
Sean.
That was the only best play that whole entire game.
You see, Sean.
Tell me we have an O-line?
Sean,
I don't have an O-line.
Sean, no. I was trying to save this for the second quarter. Can I part of the top here?
It's a good segue because we got like 1 minute left. It's a good segue.
All right, so let's go on to the second down, and we're gonna vent about your Seattle Seahawks. All right,
let's do that.
Listen, and I hope you like what I'm gonna say.
Whatever.
Hope you agree with what I'm gonna say.
Did RG3's 3 ACL injuries get accused by the O-line or just RG3? I'm telling you, in the NFL, if your O-line sucks, the O-line doesn't catch the blame. It's either the quarterback or the wide receivers.
I'm not blaming. I'm not blaming. No.
If the ball snaps to you and you look up and all of a sudden there's a defender in your face,
I know.
Is
Sean, I experienced it. 2011, 2012 Giants. Look it up. Watch the All-22 tape. It was horrible.
No, you know what? No. You know what? I'm gonna take.
You know what? We're going to the second, guys. We're going to the second down.
Yeah. Okay.
We're going to talk about this. Be right back.
Drink some water, Sean. Drink some water. Cool down.